Hey guys, so last week I posted a video that was kind of about some things that you should think about before you go out and purchase your homeschool curriculum. And this week I thought I'd do kind of a follow-up video to that and show you guys kind of step by step my personal process and how I go through choosing what curriculum we are going to use for the coming year. So let's dive right in. If you're new here, my name's Erin. I am a homeschooling mom to 4 kids, ages 4 to 12. As homeschool moms, we put so much pressure on ourselves to find the perfect curriculum. The problem with that is that there is no perfect curriculum. I've been doing this from the very beginning and I have still not found a single perfect curriculum. Before I share that process though, I feel like I do need to say that I don't know everything. I don't have it all figured out. And what works for me might not work for you and vice versa. Also, if you haven't figured out what curriculum you're gonna get yet, that is okay. You have plenty of time to do that before the next school year starts. So don't put too much pressure on yourself to get it all figured out right now. You have lots of time to figure out how this is gonna work best for your family. I have no idea if this is gonna be helpful to you at all, honestly. I haven't done a ton of these, like my process and how I do things type of videos. If you like this and want to see more of this kind of video, will you let me know what things specifically you'd be interested in seeing how we do things in our home? I would appreciate that a whole lot. So let's dive into the process that I use to figure out what curriculum we're gonna use in our home. So the first thing that I need to do is sit down and make a list of all of the things that I am required to teach. Every state is different with this. Some have pretty strict regulations on what you need to do, and some are super flexible. So make sure that you're checking what your individual state is requiring for you to do. And then I think through things that I might want to add to that, just as kind of some extracurricular subjects or enrichment subjects that I want to make sure that I am incorporating into our homeschool. I have this PDF that I've created that is just a list of all the subjects that I either am required to teach or subjects that I want to at least cover in our homeschool in a small way. And so I will have a link to this blank one for you down in the description below if this is something that you want to look over and maybe try this for yourself. I don't want you to feel overwhelmed if you aren't teaching all of these subjects. I do have marked on them the subjects that we are required to teach here in Washington State, but your state may or may not require all of these subjects. As well as there are a lot of things on here that we teach, but it's not something where I'm using a curriculum that we do every single day throughout the whole school year. These things like art appreciation, we do as artist study, using Simply Charlotte Mason's artist portfolios. And that's something that we do once a week or once every other week. So some of these things don't feel like, oh my gosh, this is so much. There's no way I'm gonna do this because, oh my gosh, this is so much. There's no way I could do all of this either. Because we don't do it every single day, it makes it a whole lot more manageable. And even the core subjects like history and science, we don't generally do on the same day either. We will choose one of those that we do for a certain period of time, and then we will kind of rotate between the two. Same with like health. It's not a subject that is taught every single day for the entire school year. So a lot of these subjects are things that we just do in bits and pieces. So don't put that pressure on yourself again to feel like you have to teach every single subject every single day, because we certainly don't do that. I don't know any homeschooler that does that, and that really helps it to not feel just totally overwhelming. Now that I have the list of everything that I know that I want to cover or need to cover for the coming year, I sit down and assess my current curriculum. I need to think through which ones are working and which ones are not. And so if I know something is working for me, I'm going to continue using that particular curriculum the following year. And I want to think through things like, is this meeting my needs for my family? Is it helping them to grow in areas where they're weak at? Is it challenging them in areas that they're already strong in, but helping them to improve in those things? So then I decide which ones I'm going to keep, and I make a note of that on my list so that I know that these are going to be the ones that I don't need to look for new curriculum for. That really helps me to stay focused when I am going to look for curriculum for the other subjects, to know that, nope, these are the ones that are set in stone. I've already decided that they work great and I'm not going to try anything else. So then after I have all of those things identified that I know that I'm keeping these curriculum, obviously that leaves a bunch of blanks open to try to find new options for. So now that I have all of that kind of out of the way and I've identified what subjects I need to look for new curriculum for, it is time to research the options. This is the step that can take probably the most time, and I spend hours doing this every single school year because I want to make sure that I'm finding something that is going to be a good fit for our family, because curriculum is not always cheap. And it can be an expensive mistake if I choose something that I'm just listening to all this hype from other homeschoolers talk about. There have certainly been super popular curriculum options out there that we have tried that just fell flat. It just didn't work for us. And so I have to trust my own gut and know that I know my kids, I know how I homeschool, and trying to find a curriculum that is going to meet all of those needs for us. So I spend a good deal of time researching the options to figure out what I think might be the best fit for my kids for this particular school year. And so that's something to keep in mind too. Don't feel like this is set in stone, that once you choose a curriculum that you are just stuck with it. You can change year to year, or you can even change halfway through the year if you are trying something and you figure out that it just doesn't work for you. That's okay to do. So don't put too much pressure on yourself in that regard. Things that are important to me in a curriculum are things like, is it open and go or have very little prep time? Because I know myself. I know if I choose a curriculum that I have to spend a ton of time making all these printouts or gathering all these supplies, it's just not gonna happen. Another thing that I look for is things that can either be done independently by my children, or something that we can do family group style. Because again, I have 4 kids and I don't have time to be individually teaching every child every subject. There's just no possible way that can happen. So especially for my kids that are older, the more that they can do independently on their own without needing me at all, or just very minimally to ask a question if they don't understand how to do a particular thing in their curriculum, then those are going to be the options that are kind of at the top of the list for what I'm going to look through to choose for us. So another thing that I want to look for is curriculum that, like Charlotte Mason says, is going to bring a rich feast of education to the table. And so I want to be looking for curriculum that is going to be teaching things like truth and goodness and beauty, and I want my kids to be exposed to the classics and just a wide variety of subjects and ideas so that they can really have a lot of depth to their education, and not only focusing on the reading, writing, math, and science and those kind of things, which those are important too, but there is tremendous value in spending at least a little bit of time focusing on other areas as well that are often overlooked in the school system. The last kind of priority for me when I'm looking for new curriculum is something that is going to spark curiosity and joy in my children. If it's something that is just drudgery for us to do, something that I get bored when I'm looking at the sample pages, then that's not going to be a curriculum that we are going to choose. I want their education to be living and active and something that is driving them to excel and to deepen themselves, and something that they are excited about doing. Now, that can't always happen for every single thing, but I strive to find things that is going to do that as much as possible. In researching, I spend some time just kind of browsing the different options that are out there. And some of the ways I do that are first by looking at curriculum publishers for subjects that I know that we have used in the past and have worked well. Another place that I do a lot of research is spending a lot of time watching other people's YouTube reviews about different curriculum that they've used. I find it tremendously valuable to hear from people who have used a curriculum and see what they think about it. I will type in a specific curriculum that I am looking for information on and watch multiple people's reviews of that product and get an idea of whether or not that might be a good fit for us, as well as then I will go on the curriculum publisher's website and read their descriptions. I download the sample pages, I flip through those and see if it's something that, again, is gonna spark curiosity and joy, that's gonna look interesting and fun to do. If it's just looking like a snooze fest, I am going to move on to a different option and try to find something different. If I have a particular option in mind, sometimes I will ask some of my friends and see if they've used it before and what they thought of it and that kind of thing, because it is valuable to me to know what has worked for people that I know and people that I trust and are probably similar in our homeschool approach. And so that is a valuable tool for me as well. Another great place to look for different options is to go on a distributor's website like Christian book distributors, because they have a ton of different options on there. So you can even click on like science, and then all of their different curriculum publishers that they sell stuff for will pop up, and you can click on each one of those and just find out a little about each one of those options a little bit more too. So that might open up some ideas of things that you've never heard for that might end up being a great fit for you. As I'm doing this research, I will then make notes on my checklist again for curriculum options that I know that I want to purchase for our family. And I just kind of keep going through that until we have got all of our required subjects done. And if there's something else that I want to cover that I need a curriculum for, then I will add that in there too. But there are some things that we cover that are just kind of enrichment subjects that I don't necessarily need a particular like whole packaged curriculum for. It might just be that I need to find a couple of resources. If I know I'm going to be covering, say, a certain time period in history, I might look up a book list from somewhere like Sunlight or Beautiful Feet Books, where they have really great pieces of literature that I might want to include with what we're doing in our home. And so I might make a list then of books that I either need to purchase or find if our library has them that will go along with a curriculum that we're using. And I feel like this is getting really overwhelming. It sounds like a lot, but really if you go through this process, just step by step, choose one subject at a time and put it away. And then another time, pick up another subject. Don't try to do everything all at once, or it's just gonna be really overwhelming. So once I've identified all of the things that I need to purchase, then it's time for me to start looking for the curriculum to buy. And the first place I always look is for used curriculum for things like teacher guides, or if there's a subject I'm doing that has a textbook. Those are great resources for you to find used versions of that you can often get for half the price of buying it brand new, and it's the exact same thing. So a couple of places that I have used and had really good luck in finding at least a few subjects for each year have been Second Harvest curriculum and homeschool classifieds. Obviously for things like read alouds or assigned reading chapter books or picture books that go along with your curriculum, finding a used item is going to save you a ton of money because buying each of those individual books adds up really fast. So I will obviously first look to see if my library carries that. If they do not, our library, like most libraries, has the option to request items to purchase. And so I will submit a request for some of those books, and sometimes they buy them, sometimes they don't, but I can get an email notification as to whether or not they are going to purchase that particular item. And so if I know that they're not going to purchase it, if it's something that I really want to cover or have my kids read, then I will look for a used option for. So obviously Amazon is amazing for just the ability of pretty much every book out there. And I will always look for the used option versus buying it brand new. Another place that you can look is Thrift Books, has a lot of those types of books as well. So as I purchase things, then I can go through my list and check off the things that I've ordered so that I know what I still have left. And after I've purchased all of my used items, I can go back through now and purchase the new curriculum that I know I'm going to need. And so again, I love Christian book distributors for a lot of those things. Part of the reason is because they frequently have sales on homeschool curriculum. So then I just work my way through that list and purchase all the things that I need to get and wait for the bounty to just roll in to our home. It is so much fun when those packages do come and we get to flip through the curriculum that we've chosen for the upcoming year. Oftentimes my kids will get really excited and we'll start reading through a lot of the supplemental books and materials that I have gotten way ahead of time. Thanks so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed today's video. Be blessed today. Bye-bye.